Sophie Arthur is a science communicator interested in curiosity. Sophie recently finished up her PhD in molecular biology and is now a science communications officer for the London Institute of Medical Sciences. There, she does everything from writing the news, managing social media, and even video editing. Sophie runs the blog Soph Talks Science, which won the 2018 UK Blog Awards. In this chat, I ask about her social media life and about her plans for the blog now that it's 3. I've been a fan of Sophie Arthur and her Instagram, Soph Talks Science, for some time now. Her posts are inspiring and memorable. That's why I was so excited she agreed to be the opening academic interview of my fall series. Soph's top recommendations for social media are be yourself, authenticity matters, and reach out to people to create community. Learn why she suggests these and why Sophie loves Instagram. It's all here on this episode of The Social Academic. All right, today I am here with Sophie Arthur. I'm so excited. Hi, Sophie, how are you?
Hello, I'm good, thank you.
That's wonderful. So today we're going to talk a little bit about social media and about your new role as a science communicator. So first off, would you tell me a little bit about yourself?
So I live here in the UK, so I currently live in the south of England, although I'm originally from southwest Wales. So I have a molecular biology background. I've just finished my PhD looking at stem cell metabolism. So I only graduated about 2 weeks ago now, so it's all exciting.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It's been a long time coming.
Absolutely. That's so exciting.
That's probably me in a nutshell, really.
So I'd love to hear about your current work because you just said you graduated, but I also know that you've started a new role as a science communicator.
Yeah, so I started my new job back in January. So I now work for the London Institute of Medical Sciences in London, obviously. My role there it's very varied. So I write all the articles for the news section on the website. So that could be about just some general institute news, about grants or awards that my colleagues have got, but primarily then about their research publications and any kind of events we do. So just generally updating the world about what's going on there. I look after their social media channels. I film, edit videos. We're trying to launch a podcast. I do design stuff. So yeah, it's really varied, but all really great.
Wow, yeah, that sounds great. You're doing lots of varied work that must kind of keep you busy, but also like keep you curious and entertained.
Yeah, I've learned about so much cool research over the past couple of months already, and met so many different people who already have been working in science communication for so long. And I feel like I've learned so much in such a short space of time.
Oh, absolutely. That kind of discovery has got to be like just world opening. I love that. So I'm curious, what is your favorite social media platform?
Oh, that's a tough question because in my eyes, it depends on what you want to get out of whatever you're using it for. But generally speaking, I would probably say Instagram because I love the photography aspect of it. And I know you can get that on other social media platforms, but it's not quite the same.
No, it's not. I agree. Yeah.
So the photography aspect, but also the sense of community. I get the warmth and the supportiveness that I've got from meeting people through Instagram is so much more than on any other social media channel I've tried.
That's great to hear. Instagram is my favorite for community as well, in terms of kind of generating that on your own right and like making your own community. Whereas Twitter, I feel, is like a really great place to connect with other communities.
Yes, definitely. And if you just want to put like out a call for something, or you want some bit of information, or you want to fact check something, Twitter is definitely the way forward for that one.
Absolutely. So I'm curious, what do you recommend for new scientists that are looking to find their community on social media?
First one would definitely just be yourself, because if you're going to try and be like somebody else or try and be something you're not, it'll be very difficult to maintain, and also you'll get caught out and all those kinds of things. So definitely just be yourself and create stuff that you want to put out there and you're proud and passionate about. But then to get the sense of community, you have to go out there first. So you have to go and engage with the people that inspire you, that you look up to, and interact with them through comments, like DM them, like their posts, email them if you want to collaborate with them. Just put yourself out there first, because they're not going to come to you if you don't go there first.
That is great advice. So put yourself out there and be yourself, because that's what people are interested in. People want to get to know you, but also know that you have to reach out to people to make those connections.
Yeah.
That is great advice, especially for new scientists who maybe are just entering the platform and they're not sure which direction to go.
Yeah, no, definitely. Just be yourself. And yeah, it might be daunting going out there and maybe talking to your favorite Instagram psychommer who's got thousands of followers maybe, but they're all human beings just like you.
I find most of them are also like willing to reply to their comments, and like most people are happy to answer your questions, and
they're all brilliant. They were all like, I know most of them, if you comment, they will reply to you.
Yeah, absolutely. So since you also manage the social media for work, I'm curious, how do you balance your kind of personal and professional life online?
Well, I think for my own personal stuff, obviously I do science communication as part of my own personal profile. But I also like to just add normal personal stuff too, like I'll talk about like my wedding planning that's coming up, or perhaps I went to a different event, and just those normal things, as well as just communicating science, because people want to know me as well as the science I communicate. But then when it comes to looking after social media channels for an institute or a company, there are obviously a few more guidelines and restrictions, and you have to be a little bit more careful because you're kind of representing someone else, whereas on your own, anything you post is obviously your opinion, and opinions are valid because they're your opinion.
Right.
But yeah, I probably couldn't go and tweet any odd thing from the social media accounts I look after at work.
Right, because those need to have like certain strategies and certain guidelines for what they're sharing on those platforms.
Yeah, like I can't, anything I tweet from there is going to be seen as a view of my institute. So
right.
If I agree with it personally, that's completely irrelevant. I have to think about what it's going to look like as if I was the institute as a whole.
That's really interesting how those are a little bit different, and how it sounds like even though you share professional things on your account, the ones that you have on Instagram and Twitter, your personal accounts, that those are a good mixture between the types of content that you're sharing, whereas professional is kind of a very different world, and that's the message of your employer.
Yeah, I still think though with the professional kind of ones, it's kind of a fine balance, because you want to be seen as a professional establishment, but you also don't want to seem as if there's just a robot putting out these kind of
right.
So you kind of want to have some humor and some personality. So yeah, it is a fine line. So you can put like these like humorous, funny posts, but if it's going to look like you're conveying an opinion through that, then you have to be careful.
Yeah, so as long as it stays neutral and makes it so that it's personable and approachable, but still on message.
Exactly.
I really like that. So now that you've transitioned into this new role, how have you found that your social media use has changed? Before you were a PhD student and a lot of your audience was fellow students, how is it different now being a science communicator?
I still think my PhD student audience that I had when I was a PhD student are still very interested in what I'm doing, because I think because a lot of them are doing science communication through social media, they're interested in my career and what I'm doing now. In terms of
ideal, because it's just helpful to show that like even if you do transition out of like academia, technically you're still able to talk with the same people and connect with the same people. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. I have had a bit of kind of a content crisis, let's say, because I'm kind of thinking I haven't got these pictures of like pretty cells or a Western blot or even me in a lab coat anymore. I go to work and I sit in an office all day, so I
Right.
got the pretty pictures I could take, even though I learn about some incredible research that's going on. I'm still trying to work out what is best to do with my social media channels. Yeah, I've definitely posted less frequently since starting the new job for various reasons again.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'm trying to re-find my niche because I've still got a lot of PhD advice I can share through my blog and
Of
through
course.
the social media, but I'm kind of trying to start thinking about, like, that's not going to last forever. So what am I going to do next? And I can obviously then start talking about what my career is like, but again, that's only going to be a finite amount of things. So yeah, I'm still trying to work out where to go.
Well, that's exciting too, because it's really about like finding what you want to write about, what you want to spend time on, and what your audience is interested in.
Yeah, no, I think definitely from the career side of things, and any kind of advice I can share from transitioning out of academia or even just about PhDs and my job now, I think is still going to be very, very relevant for the audience I've got. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, but I'm quite excited also to try and branch out a little bit further to see whether I can maybe get some more more of a general audience, say, that's more just interested in science, or just want to read a science book, or go visiting a place around the world but learn a little bit of science around that, or just maybe
Make
a
science a little more part of their lives.
yeah, just make people realize that, yeah, science is literally part of their everyday life, and I don't think people realize it and get excited enough about it.
Well, you can make them excited, and that's really great. No, I mean, I've seen it on your social media channels. I've been excited by your posts
Oh, thank
sometimes.
you.
Like you'll share something that maybe you found interesting, and I'm like, "Oh, that's really cool." That happens to me quite often with your posts. So I mean, I do think you inspire people.
Oh, that's good to hear.
So I do want to talk a little bit more about your blog, which is
Mm,
Soph Talks Science, and
yeah.
you share advice and profiles of scientists around the globe. And it just turned 3 years about a month ago. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
curious, who should follow your blog, and what are your goals for the new year?
So who should follow my blog? I would say everybody. Well, I say it in kind of a jokey way, but I kind of mean it because I try to create content that really would suit anyone. I've written posts about writing a children's book about science, which I hope might be relevant to maybe like mums or dads with kind of young kids and just want to expand their horizons a little bit. Um, I try to write travel posts that have got a bit of a sciencey, tech, engineering spin on it. I obviously talk about PhD stuff. But when I profile the scientists around the world, as you mentioned, I try to ask them questions that aren't just about their job, and try to see what else they do outside of the lab or outside of the office, just so people can also realize that just the other things that scientists do, and they're not just stale old Einsteins in labs all the time.
I love that so much.
I wish I could be more interactive with it. So I kind of just give people these interview questions, and because people are very busy, I kind of just leave it to them to kind of fit it in around their schedule.
Oh yeah,
Um,
everyone's so busy.
I know. So what I'd like to do then in the future is be able to actually sit down and talk to people about it, and then be a bit more organic with kind of follow-up questions. So I try to make it, when you read it, as if it looks like a conversation, but
Right, right.
in actual fact it isn't a conversation per se. So I'd like to be able to make it a bit more organic, and then if I do manage to record it like we're doing now, turn it into a podcast, and then have that kind of transcribed version to try and,
Well, that would be amazing.
yeah, that's the goal. Whether I have the time is another thing.
Of course, of course. Yeah. Definitely time was a big factor when I was considering how to do this
Yeah,
as well. But just the idea of it sounds fun, and it sounds like it might be something that works out in the future.
hopefully.
I think that it's just really great to be able to do profiles with people globally. I think that that's something that's been important to myself, and it sounds like it's important to you as well.
Yeah, I think the people that I've managed to highlight on the blog, they're just all so varied and unique and different, and they all have so many different interests and passions, and just getting to know them all a little bit better, even if I haven't been able to have that conversation with them. It's just amazing. So yeah, they're all fabulous, and you should go look at all of them and follow them all.
I love it. Well, I will be sure to include that link in this post.
Perfect. Yes.
Well, that's all the questions that I have today. Is there anything that you would like to add?
Oh, no, I don't think so. I think people should just learn to embrace their curiosity and want to learn more. Basically, that's basically what I want to put out there with everything I do. Ask questions and be curious about the world.
Ask questions and embrace your curiosity. I love that. Well, thank you so much for talking with me today, Sophie. It's really been a pleasure.
Well, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm really glad that I finally managed to get on here with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for checking out my opening interview of the fall series. I hope to introduce you to inspiring people here on The Social Academic, and Sophie Arthur is someone who inspires me. Don't miss out on the next interview. Be sure to subscribe.